Here we go.
Jersey craft beer.
And we are live. Oh my God, some of those people on the end of that video are back with us on this video. It's like almost heady, surreal, meta something. But Gene's off currently, but he's here too. So we are going to talk about the Build Me Up Butternut release with our friends here from Icarus Brewing. But live on our conversation tonight, I'm joined by Gene from New Jersey Craft Beer. I've got Vic from South Jersey Beer Scene and Vic's Basement Show podcast, and husband of cooker of great Italian foods. And then I have Jason from Icarus and Shane from Icarus. They're down there on the bottom. So for those that are not familiar, this is I think, Jason, we said it was our 4th annual, maybe, version of this. Yeah, I think that might be it. I don't know. We can't remember because there was a whole year with a pandemic. But now we're over that. Yeah, the beer's back. And I think Dean might actually be drinking last year still, but in our live stream here. But this beer is pretty fun and pretty unique for an NJCB collab because it is the longest running New Jersey craft beer collab, started by the fact that I went to Icarus one day with talking about I had to run down that way to go get pounds and pounds of butternut squash to make soup. And Jason's like, wait, what are you talking about? And it turned into I brought them soup, and then the beer was born. And now here we are. So yeah, it's a butternut squash. What are we doing this year? Brown ale still?
It's like a chili porter.
Chili porter. There is a subtle amount of. Is it still this one? Tell us which peppers you're using in this one, Jason.
I believe we use guajillo peppers and some chipotle peppers.
Yeah. So the same recipe as last year, which we played with it for the first few years. This one is lactose free, so it's a lactose free and has the chili peppers that give it a little bit of I go with a cherry, almost a burnt cherry. What do you think?
So those peppers definitely, the guajillo peppers give it almost like a candied cherry. It's a sweeter pepper rather than a hotter pepper, especially since it's dried. It just really pairs well with the light roasted notes and just gives it just a unique soup-like vibe.
It's pretty fun. And then when we started doing this thing, we started having these ideas of this is Halloween, and all we want to do is listen to the Misfits and pretend we're punk rock 12-year-olds again, right? So then we started having bands play and turn into a costume party and turn into the beer was originally draft only at the brewery. Now it is canned as well. Last year was canned, this year's canned. Shane has been telling us earlier that it's going to be available at a couple locations around the state. Am I right with that, Shane?
Yeah, we have it's a limited distribution this year. I know last year it was we were still kind of feeling the effects of COVID in terms of distribution, so we canned I think all of it or almost all of it. So we sent a lot out, but this year we'll keep the majority of it's a small batch, so we'll keep it mostly in the brewery, but you'll see it probably at 15 or so liquor stores around the state, and then we'll have it on tap at probably 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 of our favorite locations, or places that really appreciate that the collab and what that beer is.
And for those that want to try it earlier, come to the brewery because the Build Me Up Butternut World Tour 2021 is happening live at Icarus in lovely Lakewood, New Jersey on October 15th. I know Vic's planning on wearing a costume and showing up, right, Vic?
I'm always in costume.
But yes, it's a costume party. There'll be bands. There'll be fun. I think we have a few different bands playing. I think at least one of the bands I know are NJCB members that take up a majority of the band, or some of the members of the band, which is wonderful to see. And hopefully they play awesome songs, because I think the last time I saw them play, this is Backyard Superheroes I'm talking about. They were playing a after party for Atlantic City Beer Fest. So that was one of the times I saw them play. So it was pretty cool to have them do that. And so they'll be there. Who else is playing, guys?
In addition to them, so go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, we have Backyard Superheroes, like you said, a really cool ska band. We've got Windward, one of our local favorites. They played a bunch of Icarus events before. And then Rachel Bloodgood, which is a new one for us. Still a friend of the brewery, so looking forward to them as well.
And this time, unlike last year, you guys can come into the brewery and experience this, whereas last year was, done through the internet there. But now we're doing it for real. And boy, I know people miss live music, so it's good to see that. In addition to Build Me Up Butternut being on tap for the night, of course, the standard Icarus beers will be on. And sometimes you guys put on some special stuff, maybe, like PSL Kalishnikov, like things like that. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll definitely have we actually just canned it up at release this week, Kalishnikov pumpkin spice latte. But for the event, we're definitely going to have a bunch of barrel-aged tappings and just a special tap list for the night. Anytime we have a big event, we try to, throw in something special. So looking forward to going through our barrel kegs and see what we can throw on that night.
And if you guys have any requests, feel free to, throw them here in the comments. Feel free to email or tweet or Instagram or whatever. Throw them on the NJCB members Facebook group. And yeah, and yes, hi Kim. We're all saying hi back to you.
What's up, George?
Hey, Kim. Hi, George.
Hey, Kim.
Do we have to say hi to George? I mean, he didn't say hi.
Yes.
Yeah, but like he brings in the cookies that Kim makes, so like we have to say hi. Yes,
it's true. That was a fun event that I saw. Yeah, George at Cornerstone. So we should. I'm glad we have events are coming back. So this is one of our events that we've done for the last few years, and I'm so excited that it's back. There'll be fun new merchandise, I hear, like the new shirts, perhaps. Like if you see Jason's wearing one of them from the past, and I will be. I would have, but mine's in the wash. And all these kind of fun things are going to be coming around. Come out and say hi. And yes, hi Dan. Fun fact, Dan and I have a collab coming out too with Chimney. So not to step on toes, that's going to be a few more months from now. But yes, stay tuned for NJCB collabs with other breweries in draft and can formats all over the state. But that said, this one is fun for us. We just had the collab release, the double collab release with Axe and Arrow and South Jersey Beer Scene that was released specifically with those guys, as well as Clayton Liquors. If you guys were paying attention to the live stream we did with them a couple of weeks ago, that went really, really well, and that beer sold out within like 2.5 days. So people are out for it and looking for it. I have a handful of cans left over there, so it was pretty fun to do that. And I love this beer. It's something that, like, as a guy who doesn't know how to actually make beer. It was really cool to make my make a soup recipe turned into something that is alcohol based, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of fun. Just like apparently making Kim's night, bringing up cookies. But these are the kind of things that we love to do through NJCB, and I'm so happy when you guys come out to these events. And please come to the events. Tell us more about if there's anything else you guys, Shane and Jason and whoever else, want to add to the release, to the party itself, that you feel free to throw it in there now, guys.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a question? Jason mentioned the peppers he's using this year. Your original soup recipe, did it have like some spice or some kick in it like that?
So that's the fun part. So like I made this soup for my wife, and she doesn't like chipotle. So I do. And so I would put chipotle on the side of the soup. Like for me, I would just like put like chipotle hot sauce or like chipotle in adobo, like a dollop in my version of the soup. And we would just argue about it. So I brought, when I brought the soup to Icarus, it was like, it was there, but I was like, dude, I usually put like dry chipotle or, Tabasco brand chipotle sauce, like that kind of thing. And it turned into like, this butternut. And I think there's about 40 pounds of butternut squash puree in this batch. So, it brings a lot of sweetness into it. So to settle it and give it a little bit of like to off balance and give it a little bit of the to play with the malt, I guess, and play with the body of the beer, the peppers really like change it a little bit. And I think that helps. That's totally why we did it too. It's a great question. Yeah.
I'm full of them, Mike.
I see. Gene, how's the beer holding up from last year?
Well, I'm drinking the yacht juice that was canned a year ago today, and it's pretty fabulous. I do have some butternut from last year. I'm gonna crack into one of those tonight too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have 1 or 2 cans somewhere over there. There's a couple random bottles of Kalishnikov too. So you never know.
Is that really a year-old yacht that you have?
Yeah, it's actually looked at the can. I actually just was looking through my fridge. I'm like, I gotta have something for Icarus in my fridge, and then I'm like, oh, I do have a yacht juice. When did I get this? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, ooh, canned 10/6/20. It was what was the stamp?
Wow.
To the United Sand Beaches. Oh, White Sand Beaches.
From Jimmy Buffett.
Wow. Little J Buff.
Yeah. Eric, I guess to answer his question.
Yeah.
So I was drinking the Ichi for the Michi, one of our beers, one of my favorites that we make. And now I was moving on to a Lost Tavern beer. Their Get Lost, which is sour with blueberry, blackberry, lemon, cinnamon, vanilla, and brown sugar. So that's my cave.
And you guys have an event there the day after our event at the brewery, correct?
Yeah. So Joshua runs all the bands at our events, and me are the morning after. We somehow survived the Build Me Up Butternut night, which always turns into an interesting early morning hours. Are going to drive out to Hellertown, Pennsylvania, to do Lost Taverns event, where 100% of the proceeds are going to support charity for pediatric cancer through Penn State's Thon. So that'll be a fun 48 hours.
Yeah, I'll be leaving around the same time as you, but going up to Western Massachusetts that morning for more drinking. So that'll be a fun drive. So yeah, I am currently drinking black tea and just seltzer, non-alcoholic, but it's okay. What about you, Shane? What are you drinking?
I'm not drinking anything right now, but I did. I had one of our Kalishnikov PSLs earlier, and so a 14.5% beer was just what I needed to enter this live stream. Taking a break right now.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And it looks like Vic just polished something off. What'd you have, Vic?
This is homebrew American Amber.
Is that your award-winning American Amber, Vic?
It's Best of Ocean
Yes,
County Homebrew Club Amber right
yes.
there.
This is my winning American Amber. Yes, it is.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, I also do have some. I saw Dan was on. I have some chimney in my refrigerator, as well as some stuff from Lost Barrel in Virginia in the fridge right now.
That's great. And we know what Gene's drinking. And then apparently George he's killing us tonight. He wants to know what we're wearing for the costumes. Like, well, I'm dressing up as a butternut squash because that's what I do.
Naturally.
And then everyone else will not tell you until you show up. So you got to show up to find out.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the answer to that. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, Build Me Up Butternut World Tour live from Icarus on the 15th, starting around 5. I think the bands will be heading on a little bit later. There's a Facebook event if you want to follow along. The post is on NJCB, social, all that kind of stuff.
I have a question for Jason.
Uh-oh.
This is internal, I guess, but do we have the same person running like the lights and stuff that we did the last time? Do you know that?
The lights?
Yeah, we have like
lights.
That's why I'm asking, because the last time we did this and had people in the brewery, whoever Josh had working like lights and stuff, it was such an incredible job. It was like being at a real concert inside the brewery. It was awesome. I'm hoping that that's the case again because it was really fun.
I hope so too, but as we all know, nobody controls what Josh does.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, my point was there might be some really cool like concert production.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That would be that would be fun. I can bring a flashlight in case you want. I have a red one too.
I have some glow sticks.
Like, yeah, I'll bring my rave toolkit, circa 1995. I don't know. I have to go find it though. But that said, Shane, Jason, how do we find you guys on social? Not you specifically, but Icarus.
At Icarus Brewing, pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming in. Vic, how do we find you guys? South Jersey Beer Scene.
Okay, South Jersey Beer Scene, southjerseybeerscene.com, Facebook, Instagram. We also have our YouTube channel, South Jersey Beer Scene, so make sure you check that out and subscribe to that. We've got some good stuff coming up. We have Icarus in one of our future shows we have on Vic's Basement Brew. We're also going to be visiting with Mechanical Brewing, and we will have something coming out with Ross Brewing any day now that we did. So stay tuned and subscribe.
Awesome. And Gene and I are on NewJerseyCraftBeer.com and all that kind of social at NJ Craft Beer. I don't know from my team who's going to be at the event that date, but I for sure will be there. Come say hi. If you're watching this live, Paragon event tomorrow in Clark for not just for NJCB members, but it's a full Jersey lineup of a bunch of good beers.
We've got DDH milking it on right now.
It was not canned a year ago.
This is a fresher, slightly fresher,
a little fresher.
So come check that out, and if not, we'll see you at Icarus. And if you can't make it, good luck finding this beer, and you know you're gonna want it. And we'll see you guys next time. So thanks again, everyone.
All right.
Cheers, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.